let's discuss my hometown getting torn up by a tornado. Now, it must be said, because I'm about to dog on this community because it's a comedy podcast, so you gotta. So let's, first, it must be said, Detroit Lakes, the greater DL area at large, it's a great community, even grander people, good, fine enough individuals looking to make it to tomorrow. Do they really care about you or their neighbors that they don't know personally? Not very much, but they don't want to see you die or nothing. They just don't. If they don't really know you, it's the typical Midwest thing where it's like, if we don't have much investment in you, we don't let homeless people permeate the streets, but we're good at policing, a little too good. As a matter of fact, DL police are they're kind of an exceptional crew when it comes to a lot of Midwest and Minnesota police forces that I've had interactions with. They just got to work on their response times. Maybe the recruits and long-timers need reevaluation. I won't name names, but if you're from DL, DL is a community of, let's just put it this way, wannabe artists in this hovel in upper Midwest Minnesota. This is like, it's a little tiny region right at a crossroads. You got the plains to your left, you got the trees down to your right, and you got the cities if you head south. It's a very, it's a middle of the road type of a spot. And the proudest thing to our name is a lake with swimmer's itch. Justin Bieber, living legend of the 2010s, visited Detroit Lakes, Minnesota on June 17th, 2016. During his trip, he was spotted wakeboarding on Big Detroit Lake. Wakeboarding? What is there? Listen, not the texture. The water's not right for it. He was dining at Fireside, overpriced. I'm sorry to say it. Overpriced. And by the way, their staff has an attitude problem. They do. They know who they are. Not all of them. Some of them are rather lovely, but they know who they are. They know who they are. He was spotted grabbing drinks at Lakeside Tavern. Elite spot, by the way, and not overpriced like Fireside. Not to say that Fireside is awful, disgusting, whatever you want to say, but it's overpriced to shit. And I understand they want to lock out all the poor people. I get that. And you know what? I get it. I'm not even mad at them because it's the lake culture. We're going to get into the lake culture because the lake culture is one of my favorite things about this town. The lake people, oh my God, they are some of my favorite folks. They are my favorite folks because they have the worst interpersonal lives. They are all, regardless of who they are all either cheating on their wives. They have upside down pineapples in their houses. They all do the thing where they drop the keys in the fishbowl at their parties. I'm sorry to say it. DL's got some swingers, and if you know about it, it's it's a kooky community. I'm just gonna say it. DL has like a bit of a Colorado town vibe. It's a little bit of an anything goes for a certain sect of the community. It's not everybody. There's certainly the religious types. There's certainly, you carve out any person you expect to see in a Midwest community, it's there. But it's got this little bit of a bohemian vibe. It's like, oh, we have big troll statues and all of this shit, but we also have like parties that have like weird guest lists and things like that. And we have real estate companies that like make businesses that don't really exist, and it's like, and a lot of money from Fargo is being funneled out here, and it's really strange. And okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. He also he took a pit stop at the Lake Shirts apparel shop on the beach to get scammed for some bullshit t-shirts that are misprints that stain easily. They didn't make the cut. By the way, that's exactly what they sell on the beach. They sell them for a profit because these ones are misprints, and they want to profit off of dumb bobble-headed beach walkers, morons ready to pour out their dollars for garbage quality t-shirts. Truth, look it up. Before heading to Fargo for his concert at the Fargo Dome, we might or may not have given him swimmer's itch, and that's just how we roll. DL Detroit Lakes. They are, they're a fine gaggle of geese up in their homes. Some of them are rich. They live on the south side of the tracks and near the lake. Some of them are poor. They live on the north side of the tracks. They live in the trailer parks, in some of the apartment buildings, the single-story homes. They have half Indian kids. Don't get mad at me. It's just the truth. You meet one of these lake home livers that isn't named Lundeen or Skalberg or Olson. Exactly. Knock it off. There's no Muckwas. There's no Ginus living around that lake. Enough. There's more melanin at a Klan meeting than there is in Detroit Lakes. All except at Walmart. Walmart is starting to get some more Arabs. Since they always start coming in and working at big box stores, then retail. Then that's always the first sign. It's big box stores and retail. Then it's fast food and the service industry. Next is construction, blue collar jobs, then white collar jobs, doctors, whatever's next. It's trackable. It's a data line. You saw it in Fargo. It's provable. Folks, I'm not even saying that there's anything wrong with it, but folks, DL is a great community. It's for like antiquers, people who like to go like shop at the 4 antique stores or thrift shops that are in town. It's a little place where you go to die. Really, I'm gonna be honest with you. As long as you don't mind shoveling your driveway, having a heart attack when you're like 70 something because you overexert yourself one day, that's gonna be, by the way, a lot of people's fates in Detroit Lakes. A lot of people's fate is gonna be grumpy old men shoveling their front yard, shoveling their walk, and then dropping dead of a heart attack from overexertion because it turns out not working out after you were playing football back during your high school, college, whatever years, and then just dropping and then continuing the Midwest lifestyle of drinking yourself to death, that eventually leads to like an early death. That is like a 50 you're gonna croak over. That is gonna be, I'm sorry, it's like a lot of folks out there, and I know that it's a big drinking culture. It is. You grow up in Detroit Lakes, it's a lot of drinks, a lot of you go to the DL Liquor. Everybody knows the Liquor Commission, Lakes Liquor. It's right next to Central Market. I used to go over there when I would get out of high school, middle school, and I would watch my teachers pull up in their cars at the end of every single day and walk in there. My history teacher, I'm not going to name names because I'm not that type of guy, but because I understand you're working with kids every single goddamn day, and I remember what we were like when we were kids, especially the kids that would get sent out in the hall every single fucking day. I used to, oh my God, I used to feel so bad for this one math teacher because there was one kid who, I'm not going to name names because I'm not that type of guy. Swedish, Norwegian last name and Norwegian for kind of a basic white kid first name. And he used to torture this fucking 7th grade math teacher. It was hilarious. It was hilarious because it was like, it's obviously funny to watch a teacher get hot-headed on all that shit, but it sucked because he was he was kind of a sweet guy. Like, you felt bad for him deep down. You were like, oh, this guy's nice. I don't feel like he's really equipped to deal with this kind of a pressure. I feel like he just kind of wants to teach, and then people want to get a rise out of him. That it's funny when you're a kid, but looking back, it's like, God, they were absolute pricks to this guy. And he would get sent out in the hall every single day. It was the funniest thing back then. And it was the most uncomfortable thing back then. But whatever, this does not matter. The point is, I understand why there's a drinking problem among the teachers of this community. There's a drinking problem among every teacher, in every community in America. They're underpaid, quite frankly. And by the way, they're the first ones to tell you that. But I'm just going to be honest with you. They're the very first ones to inform you about how bad their finances are going. They're not going to give you I wouldn't have like the teachers telling me that they couldn't pay their mortgage or something like that. But they would make it clear if I don't feel good about a decision that the school board recently made. And I'd be like, I'm in 11th grade. I don't know what the school board is doing. I'm trying to figure out how I can maybe cut class without getting caught again. I'm trying to live my own life. And a lot of them would ensure that they're adults that felt too comfortable sharing shit. I remember one substitute, she told me, she told not me specifically, but she told the entirety of the class about why her mother wasn't texting her anymore. This was in 2018, and I was like, Jesus fuck, who are they getting to teach these goddamn classes? Anyways, Detroit Lakes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fun community. The teachers, they're doing all right. You know what I mean? The kids are all right. That's the best way to say it. Folks, my community, my homeland, I'm more native to this land than the people who supposedly had teepees here. I was born in the hospital in the heart of town. The doctor was drunk. My grandpa Steve always tells me that. He goes, oh yeah, your mother was getting ready for the delivery and whatnot, the C-section. I could smell the doctor. He smelled like whiskey. And then the doctor, I think he had a mustache. I don't know if he works there anymore. That's debatable. He went in there. He got me out of my mom because I was one of those babies that didn't leave. Because my mother had the whole family show up thinking that I was on the way. Delivery was on the way. It was literally less than a couple hours before I was out. And then it got so late they all went home. I was late. So he goes in there, realizes he's got to fight this fucking monkey out of this woman. In a tussle, he manages to slice the shit out of my face, my right lower cheek, on the jawbone area. This son of a bitch tried to kill me. Naturally, I tried to kill him back. We haven't spoken since. But regardless, my original point is I came into this world bleeding on this land. My doctor literally tried to Freemason sacrifice me on the way out of the womb, almost dying as a baby, which, by the way, I didn't. I was perfectly fine. I lived, but I have the scar to this day. But almost dying as a baby changes you. It makes you appreciate the earth below you, the land, the nature. And nature can be deadly, much like she has hath proven on my town recently. I don't know if DL is wrought with sin recently, or if they just are encroaching on God's will right now, but like these are biblical plagues that he is unleashing on my hometown. Let's see some of these clips that are like from inside of people's homes, some of them from the news. I mean, we're talking about rich white Swedes, Ludfisk eaters, Norwegian folks, nice blonde people, and like, you know, the brown-eyed and whatnots that like intermingled with the Germans and whatnot, getting their platoons knocked over. Like, this is awesome tidal wave biblical shit.
Hunter, stay in there!
Hunter! Oh, shit.
There's devastation in this community after a tornado touched down, bringing the heavy equipment to try to dig these people out just north of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
Holy shit.
The tornado hit on Monday evening. It destroyed trees, flipped over boats in the water, that's Floyd Lake.
That's
and
awesome.
roofs off of houses. One woman likened all of this to a scene in a scary movie that's become all too real. People around here are trying to work out what to do because there aren't any simple answers for them in these early 24 hours after the storm hit.
That shit's
They're trying to
torn
work
up.
out if their homes are even recoverable, with around 30 people making use of a nearby shelter that the Red Cross set up at M State. The Becker County Sheriff says 3 people were sent to the hospital, but in the midst of all this destruction, as is so common in Minnesota, after there is heartache, there are people with smiles. We saw this couple show up with a tray of sandwiches and some water.
Nice blonde lady. A nice blonde lady walking up with sandwiches and shit like that. This is so Minnesota core. I love it.
Crews working to clean up here.
You know, it looks like they're doing good. I love the video at the start where this woman's recording from inside her living room. It's pitch black because the power's probably knocked out. And she's going, Hunter, stay in there. She's probably yelling at her kid. Hunter, I went to school with like 6 or 7 Hunters. It's a common name up here. It's awful. I'm sorry. No diss on the Hunters. It's an awful, just overused one. I'm sorry. It's that. It's Jack. It's James. It's a lot of J names. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, there's so many overused names up here. I'm not trying to target anybody. I'm not trying to, but if I meet another Taylor or like, I'm gonna scream. I swear to God. If people don't start spelling it in a different way, like Taylor, like Teeyler, I'm gonna freak out.
Right off houses, overturned boats, and ripped trees right out of the ground in
Wow.
Floyd Lake and nearby Detroit Lakes. Branches landed on cars and even crashed into some swimming pools there. The tornado sheared the roofs off of several homes and buildings. There's debris. You can see it all over the place.
That's
At least
incredible.
one building appears to have collapsed altogether. Earlier today, we spoke with someone who lives in the area and saw much of the damage. We also heard from the Becker County Sheriff.
Becker County Sheriff.
Pointed it to the north, and then I'll go ahead and swing you around and give you a shot to the south. You can see the damage there, and as bad as this looks, the damage on the west side of the lake is even more substantial.
We were tracking the storm.
Todd Glander, Becker County Sheriff. Becker County Sheriff Todd Glander. Whether or not you hear this is indeterminable, but I would like to extend a personal apology. I understand that I am not responsible for my biological father's behavior, and I understand that he has been a bit of a headache for your entire crew. Honestly, the law in DL, it sounds like he has made his enemy. The law in general, it seems he has made his enemy. He regularly messages me, by the way, continuously, and that's fine, but it's on TikTok, he goes like, I'm winning my case against the state. Whether or not he is like, it's up there. If Tim Walz pays him $666 million, good on him. That all that money would have went to Somali pirates anyways, because you know what I mean. It's like whether or not that lawsuit is coming close to being ended, and whether or not I'm gonna win because my airboat, it doesn't harm rice beds or something. Or that's what the argument was, at least from him. He's like, I'm not tearing up rice fields. I'm just riding a boat over it with a huge fucking fan. I'm not doing shit to it. I'm just harvesting how we have been for generations. The treaty 1855 would have covered airboats, according to him. Todd Glander, I know I haven't done anything to personally, offend you or anything like that. I just, it's got to be tough for you guys, and I want to apologize for the effort that you guys must have to go through to escort him and his buddy Martin Seeger. If I mention that name, also a lot of people, they hear that I mentioned that name, and I mention you mention the biological father's name anywhere in the community, and if they're vaguely aware of things, or if they kind of know him, it's not for anything good, or it's an interesting reputation to carry around. But Todd Glander, personal apologies from me for something that I'm not responsible for. I hope that the job gets easier, and I hope that he stops causing you guys headaches.
And all of a sudden, we were right in the middle of it. And it was one of those situations where you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know if you were going to end up in the ditch or if it was going to take you with it.
The sheriff mentioned that all 3 people who went to the hospital...
Okay, Glander, Sheriff Glander, we got to work on this media appearance, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm gonna talk to you here sincerely. Maybe veneers. Maybe we do something with the teeth. I'm saying that, they're not awful. They're just given a little... Are you English? Are you of English descent? Because I'm just curious. There's a little bit of gum receding. I'm just a little concerned. I want to make sure that you're in top fighting physical form. When's the last time that you took the Fitness Gram Pacer test? When was the last time that you ran back and forth, from wall to wall continuously? Because I want to make sure that if you're serving as the sheriff, if people are serving in the Detroit Lakes Police Department, they are going to be of substantial fighting physical form. Now, I only bring this up as a concern. Because they have, I'm just going to be honest with you, a clearance rate, meaning they catch the criminal, almost worse than Fargo. Fargo, you flip a coin. In here, you I'm going to murder somebody. Flip a coin, heads or tails. That's the chance of you getting caught. It's 50-50. In DL, it's 60-40. You know what I mean? It's there's an even bigger chance that you're probably not going to be caught. There was a carjacking outside of the Midwest Bank and of a gentleman of darker descent or something. We don't want to say that he's black, but a man of colored ethnicity is he's got a car. Everybody watch out. What are you talking about? Just tell us that he's black. Give us a description. Tell us what the car is. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to be honest with you. The DL Police Department, they're not in top physical form. A lot of these people are used to walking around schools for their physical activity. They're not the most physically fit. Most of these gentlemen look like ham at Christmas dinner. I'm going to be on, they look like the ham. Not like they've had too much of the ham. They look like the ham. Anyways, I'm just saying, I think that there should be a little bit more performance review at the Detroit Lakes Police Department. I think there should be a little bit more, checking up on your local man. If your buddy is getting McDonald's every other day, you got to tell him about the goy slop. You got to inform him. You got to actually help him, because he's not going to be able to save himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is tragic. Todd Glander, comfort the community continuously, and best of luck to you with the everything. Crime is ridiculous, and your town is being ransacked by individuals seemingly every day. You guys are uncovering pedophiles. You guys are uncovering meth operations. It's you guys are, I'm going to admit, you guys are good when it comes to the cyber crimes division unit. You guys are good at catching people on the whatevers. That makes me a little nervous about the surveillance state that you guys are developing there, especially for such a small town, small community. But I'm happy when it's being put to good use. So, congratulations, Becker County Sheriff's Office. I hope that your fight against crime continues to go well, and I hope that my community is able to recover swiftly. They're gonna band together. I've given them some shit for how they don't care about people and how they're self-obsessed and whatnot. But who isn't? Admittedly, you know what I mean. And Midwest passive aggression just makes it come out more frequently. But they're perfectly fine people. They'll make you a sandwich. They'll let you sleep on the couch a night. But they have kids. Get the fuck out of their house. You know what I mean? Go find a hotel. The Budget Host, they'd had a car rammed through the front of it, but I think that they still are open for lodging, ladies and gentlemen.